Hi, my name is A1C Blasingame. I'm going to tell you a little bit about BMT, Security Forces Tech School, and the base I'm stationed at now.
When your job is constant vigilance, you can't help but see things. The Air Force started the Air Police in 1947. Let me tell you, we've seen things. You don't know the true meaning of being between a rock and a hard place until you realize you have no choice but to apprehend a fellow airman. We've stood at gates and checked 1,000,001 IDs. We've gone to homes on domestic violence calls, people threatening to hurt themselves, break-ins. We've responded to active shooters on base. We've kept our rifles pointed at the horizon night and day with nuclear missiles behind us. We've guarded Air Force One. We've lost people in combat and at home. We've been attacked for being Americans. We've been thanked for being Americans. Through war and peacetime, deployed and stateside, we see it all. Our fellow airmen at their best and at their worst. They're most vulnerable. Firm compassion and respect. That's what you do. This is real life, and we're all human. And because we're all human, there will be chaos in the world. Eternal vigilance is the price we pay for freedom. Everything that moves or makes a sound in the night outside the wire is a suicide bomber, or a sniper, or something we can't even imagine. And everyone inside the wire are airmen, safe, asleep, and depending on us. We're trained to be ready for anything, always. We are the first line of defense. Defensor Fortis. Defenders of airmen, defenders of our assets, defenders of our core values. And if there's one thing we never have to defend, it's our place in this Air Force. We're cops, guardians of the guardians, dog handlers, weapons instructors, security forces, defenders. We will still bust you for speeding. We will search your car no matter who you are. And we will protect you and your family and keep you safe inside the fence. On convoys, on the flight line, we will stand our post and do our duties because you are our brothers and sisters. We're responsible for you, every single one of you. We watch like hunters. We listen like parents. Our best days are the ones people make jokes about. Days where nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. And on those quiet days when nothing happens, you're welcome. Aim high, Airman.
I wanted to do something really important.
I think I was looking to be part of something that was bigger than just myself.
We're kind of a cross between light infantry and military police. And they call us the jack of all trades because, we pretty much do everything.
We don't have just one job to do. You're at a different spot every day.
A lot of it is watching a gate, guarding a flight line. You're there for a reason.
At any moment, something could happen and you're there. You are the gateway to the Air Force, and it's your responsibility to end that threat or handle whatever situation may come your way.
We have very valuable assets on the base, including our planes, our weapons, military personnel.
It's not just a straight leg cop. You can go CADM, you can go K9, you can go Raven, which is aircraft security. You can go Dagger, or Deployed Aircraft Ground Response Element, which is special operations security for special operations aircraft. If you go to a nuke base, you have the Tactical Response Force. There's the Emergency Services Teams, or the ESTs, which are basically a security forces SWAT team. There's so many different opportunities that you can find in security forces.
Working in investigations can consist of a day when you're interviewing a subject, interviewing a victim.
Reacting to an incident, arriving on scene somewhere, and keeping a cool head and being able to talk to people will do more for this job than any other skill they can teach you.
Military working dogs do both explosive and narcotics interdiction. Their key sense of smell is what sets them apart from everything. On a good day, the dogs can smell from 1,000 yards out.
Combat Arms Training and Maintenance, or CADM, basically are the ones who teach weapons to not only security force members, but to the whole base populace. No matter where the Air Force sends you, it's up to you to be motivated and find the opportunities that may be at your base. We're cops, we work the gate, we do law enforcement duties, and then when we deploy, we could do anything from working just that base security, that perimeter defense, to branching outside the wire and pulling the Army's missions.
But when you're deployed, you get to see it firsthand. You get to see the real reason why you're joined, why you're important, and what you're protecting.
You need to find the why. Why are you going to do this? What are you fighting for?
If this is something that you really want to do, it will be worth it. It's really up to the individual to take advantage of those opportunities.
When I first came into the career field, I didn't speak up for myself. I was a little bit shy, a little bit of a pushover, and now I'm 100% confident. I found a voice in security forces.
So Security Forces Squadron is basically like law enforcement. The people you see at the gate, patrolling the base, pulling people over on base, that's security forces. They're law enforcement, they're actually protecting the base. They also do missile security. They work with K9 working dogs, so that's like kind of like another shred as well into the security forces type of stuff. Also, the BG does the same. We actually have our own K9 kind of in the mix. Security forces does as well.
The job opportunities that come with being security forces is what encourage a lot of people to re-enlist.
I re-enlisted in security forces because I realized that there are so many different types of jobs that you can do within the career field that will be a change of scenery, change of pace.
This would definitely be a good career field for somebody who desires to deploy and travel. There's plenty of opportunities.
There's specialty training deployments. Every single Air Force base needs security forces. And generally, if you're at a stateside base, you'll be there for about 4 years, unless you put in for a short tour, which would be a year stationed somewhere overseas.
The K9 guys, they do a lot of travel with the Secret Service. If you're Combat Arms and you get attached to a pararescue squadron or something like that, anytime they go, you're going with them.
I did assume that I would just be a police officer, and it's so much more. It's about involving the community, about helping people and getting to know a lot of different individuals. You come in contact with so many different people in a day.
There's a lot of community involvement with security forces. You're the first person anyone sees when they come onto the installation. You're the ambassador of the Air Force.
I'm not really much of a gun kind of person, weapon kind of person, except for I've gone hunting a few times. Kind of girly girl, so I was like, oh, I don't know. Went to tech school and I loved it. It was fun, it was rough, physically demanding, but it's stuff that kept me fit, Didn't gain the college 15 because I was working out a lot, so it's a lot of responsibility, but that's one of the main reasons I joined. That's why I didn't go to college right out of high school. I wanted new responsibility. I'd been babied my whole life. I'm the youngest of 3, so I was ready to grow up. In security, we're responsible for the whole base. We are in charge of the flight line, always. So with the F-35s coming, it's gonna be a big change. It's gonna be a big responsibility. We also are responsible for building checks and any kind of incident that goes on base. Wreck, alarm activations, any kind of damage to someone's personal vehicle we have to respond to. We're in charge of keeping everyone safe out here. If you don't feel safe, I feel like if the pilots don't feel safe, they're not gonna wanna fly. They feel secure out here, they know that we're doing a good job, they know that we'll respond to anything that happens. We are the first responders. If anything pops off, we go to the fight. Obviously, everyone's important. Maintenance takes care of the jets. Jets can't fly, maintenance doesn't fix them. I feel like we're just as important. We keep everyone secure. We have to do flight line sweeps. We have to wake up, open the flight line before everybody else gets out here. We close the flight line, do a flight line sweep every hour to make sure nothing suspicious is going on, nothing looks out of the ordinary. That's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. I think that goes a lot into flying. And it's great. I think seeing the pilots fly every day is kind of like my reward. To know, like, we help do that. We're not just cops, we do help the whole mission.
The mission at RAF Mildenhall is we are an air refueling wing. While these aircraft are not in the air refueling, they are being protected by us. If the aircraft were not protected, they would be vulnerable to any outside threats or insider threats. As security forces, a lot of the time people don't think about how much goes into the job. For example, throughout the entire night, we are constantly doing facility checks, ensuring that buildings are all secure. We conduct random anti-terrorism measures. As security forces, you see all the moving parts of the entire base, day in and day out. We see the base open up in the morning, and we see it shut down at night. So it is really nice to see how the base operates and be a part of protecting all the personnel and resources on base. The reason why I wanted to be security forces is I wanted a career field that was very diverse. I wanted to be doing something different every day. I wanted to be a first responder. I want to be the one that people call.
BMT was like really different. So first, get off the bus, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you at, you just know that you're about to get yelled at because you're in BMT now. I'm glad that I packed a light luggage because they will have you carry it. Even if you bring a big suitcase that's like this tall, they got wheels, you're carrying it 100%. So, and I'm also glad that I went to Disneyland instead of Alcatraz. Nothing on Alcatraz, but Disneyland was where it's at. You got about like 30 shower heads compared to like 10. So I really actually learned a lot of stuff. You get good relationships with a lot of people. Some people you might not click with, some people you will, but I have seen some amazing people. And it's crazy because I haven't even been in that long, and I just feel like they're like family to me, because we was put in that situation where it's either family or kind of go home. So it was like a love-hate relationship, but I really loved it. You learn a lot of stuff that you learn in BMT, you also learn in tech school as well, especially Security Forces Tech School. So basically paying attention and knowing what you're actually doing is really good.
I believe a common misconception about security forces is that they're just going to be going and learning about law enforcement. Like, yeah, you're going to go learn how to handcuff and search someone, or how to do a traffic stop, or how to work a main gate. That's not the case at all. You're going to spend some time out in the field doing some field training. You're going to get a lot of weapons training.
They assume that they're going to be doing a lot of physical work when a lot of it is academic. There is a lot you need to learn before you can actually get out there and do the job.
Some trainees have a difficult time with the academic standpoint in tech school. If you're studying and you're listening in class and you're taking notes and you're doing everything that your instructors are telling you to do, you won't have a problem with that.
everyone going through tech school with you is there to help you. And as long as you work together and apply yourself and want to be there, you'll do just fine. Combatives is fun. You actually get to go hands-on. You learn different weapon retention techniques, how to detain a suspect, as well as if you can't handle the fight, how to control it until you can get back up there. So it is extremely fun and competitive.
Going out to Camp Bullis for 3 weeks during the course is used as a tool to work on field training. You stay overnight out there, you wear your duty gear every day, you're firing weapons.
You learn how to clear buildings, deal with active shooter scenarios.
It's exciting, it's different, you're seeing a whole different side of the security forces career field.
So I'd say one of the most challenging things in technical training is the use of force. It's a tough situation for some people.
There's use of force, that's any type of force. So we carry lethal and then less than lethal. The use of deadly force, that's where people get really hung up.
Security Forces spends a lot of time doing deadly force training, and you're constantly training that all the time. So that's not a worry.
Manage your time wisely. Stay focused on your goal. Take as much as you can out of every single day and every chance that you get with your instructors, because they're some of the top defenders, so they have a lot to offer.
You've always got to be willing to keep learning, to keep improving yourself. Every situation's different, so you want to prepare for as many situations as you can. So if you do have to respond to a situation that maybe you're the only one that's had to deal with it before, you're going to be the one people are looking to for the answers.
Basically, tech school is what you make of it, and I absolutely love tech school. It gave me more like a college feel for everything, because I didn't go to college. I came right out of high school. So they basically taught us what security forces actually is, like in a whole. What you do, how you work at the gate, how you patrol the base, vehicle security, learned what to do and what not to do at the gate. Like if somebody's playing loud music and you can't hear them over the loud music, you'll tell them to turn it down. Or if they refuse to give you the right car, you can deny them from coming on the base. Walking a lot. I mean, I walked a lot in BMT, but hey, we walked a lot in security forces. If I had my phone on me, I'd probably have like 50,000 steps a day. Like I was walking. Bullis is usually 3 weeks, but ours was like 2 weeks or a week and a half, something in that range. So it actually kind of reminded me of like the BDG, because most of the times you really don't do that in security forces as a whole, but in the BDG you kind of do like mostly all of that. So carrying the M4s all the time, 24/7, clearing houses. So I think, I don't remember what it's called, but I think it was like glass windows or something like that, or something with windows or glass. And you'll enter a room and you'll do a corner, so you'll run your wall, check your sectors. It was under like a pavilion in Bullis. You always carry your M4, you're cleaning it almost every day. They actually did teach us clearing houses as well with Sims, but we couldn't shoot each other because we didn't have on the mask. So we was just shooting at dummies going into a house. They actually taught us like how to like work together. Tech school was like really frustrating because a lot of people didn't know what was going on or what we was doing, where we at, what time is it. So it was really like aggravating in some point in time. Yes, people can come from straight out of tech school to the BDG. I'm in the same way. Came straight out of tech school to the BDG. It might change, might not, but as far as I know, it's still the same. Tech school, Moody Air Force Base. So right now I'm at the 823 Security Forces Squadron. Basically what we do is provide high-risk force protection. We provide security for flight lines, protect assets. That's one of the biggest things that we do. We protect assets. We are like worldwide deployable. So sometimes we be on a 6 months on, 6 months off circuit, where at any moment notice we can be deployed somewhere, all over the world. I haven't been deployed yet. I'm waiting to get deployed. I hope I get deployed soon. But yeah, we actually do deploy a lot. So it'd be like on a 6 months on, 6 months off circuit. And there are, how many BDSs is there? 2, 3, 4. There are 4 BDSs. 3 BDSs. We clear houses. Our daily training, we clear houses, basically going in and clearing the buildings, making sure everything is clear, provide security for the outside the buildings, security for villages, because most of the times when we do deploy, we go into villages, so keeping an eye out on what's going on in your surroundings and stuff like that. We also work in the wood lines, so like if you like drive past a forest, hey look, we probably be in a forest like that. So we be all in the forest, looking at the environment, seeing different things to do, things not to touch. Sometimes it's poison ivy, things to run from, like boars, alligators, most likely not snakes, because you know BDG, they just probably kill it. But snakes, just basically like getting out there, actually seeing the environment, what we're doing. So that's to me BDG in a nutshell.
I'm Sergeant Gussman, and this is Military Working Dog Benny.
I'm Staff Sergeant Starcher. Today we're at the Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson Military Working Dog Kennels, where the military working dogs stay. We've got Dutch Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, German Shepherds.
Generally, when the dogs pass the military working dog training course at Lackland, they get certified VMWDs and get sent out to the field. We're looking at usually 3 years old. When you first pick these dogs up, you're doing 2 weeks of rapport to get to build a baseline foundation, a baseline relationship with the dog, and then you start running into your training. Every time we pull these dogs, it's training. It's all training. Benny, like the other dog, is a dual-purpose explosive detection dog. Dual-purpose meaning that he's also trained for patrol and or bite work. So he's trained to find and scout for suspects in any area or structure. He's also trained on all the odors of explosives. This is our training yard. And our obedience course, as you see here, basic obedience is the foundation for everything we do as a dog team. The agility course or obedience course is physical conditioning for these dogs as well as obedience training for them. And it has a positive transfer of learning into other tasks. So when we get into real world obstacles, jersey barriers, cars, lifted trucks, or anything that these dogs need to get into, this obstacle course will help them. Crawl, heap, hops, heap. Good job. Good.
Decoying is the most underrated part of your job as a military working dog handler and can make or break the dog.
Good. Stay.
You have the bite pants, and then you have a bite top, and you have these neoprene sleeves which will go over my arms. That just softens the blow just a tiny bit, but you will feel the pressure in the suit from these dogs. Like having your arm or your leg caught in a vice that wants to eat you. Generally, the goal of these sessions is to set these dogs up for success and make them feel confident as a decoy. So you have to be animated. They get a hold of your legs, you're going to encourage that. Whatever they're going to get a hold of, you want to encourage that behavior. And the goal is to get a nice full mouth bite, and we want them to stay in place on that bite, and we want them to stay determined and stay in the fight.
Good boy. Hold him. Good boy.
So I can have a bad day at home or, have a sad day. As soon as I walk to the kennel and I see my dog, I mean, it's just, everything goes out the window because I know that I'm here for him, he's here for me, and just to love up on him. So I'm getting ready to head out for patrol to protect Jay Bear. And one last thing, I am Jay Bear.
My advice is don't overpack, don't underpack, but don't overpack. Because you're going to be carrying all the stuff that you're going to be packing. Try to be in shape so PT wouldn't be as hard for you because it's the Air Force PT test. It should be fairly easy for somebody who is in shape. So make sure you're running, you're doing your push-ups, sit-ups. Try to make sure you're really prepared before coming in. And also, even if you're not and you feel like that you're struggling on something, the MTIs will help you out 100%. So that and study habits. Make sure on the EOC, hey look, studying is important, 100%. Study, 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 but don't study too hard because then you're gonna hurt your brain. But knowing the information and paying attention in the classes, because that will be one of the hardest things to do, and you will see it firsthand. Falling asleep is really easy. You won't even know that you're sleeping. So that's some of my advice. Hi, my name is A1C Blasingame. I'm going to tell you a little bit about BMT, Security Forces Tech School, and the base I'm stationed at now.
When your job is constant vigilance, you can't help but see things. The Air Force started the Air Police in 1947. Let me tell you, we've seen things. You don't know the true meaning of being between a rock and a hard place until you realize you have no choice but to apprehend a fellow airman. We've stood at gates and checked 1,000,001 IDs. We've gone to homes on domestic violence calls, people threatening to hurt themselves, break-ins. We've responded to active shooters on base. We've kept our rifles pointed at the horizon night and day with nuclear missiles behind us. We've guarded Air Force One. We've lost people in combat and at home. We've been attacked for being Americans. We've been thanked for being Americans. Through war and peacetime, deployed and stateside, we see it all. Our fellow airmen at their best and at their worst. They're most vulnerable. Firm compassion and respect. That's what you do. This is real life, and we're all human. And because we're all human, there will be chaos in the world. Eternal vigilance is the price we pay for freedom. Everything that moves or makes a sound in the night outside the wire is a suicide bomber, or a sniper, or something we can't even imagine. And everyone inside the wire are airmen, safe, asleep, and depending on us. We're trained to be ready for anything, always. We are the first line of defense. Defensor Fortis. Defenders of airmen, defenders of our assets, defenders of our core values. And if there's one thing we never have to defend, it's our place in this Air Force. We're cops, guardians of the guardians, dog handlers, weapons instructors, security forces, defenders. We will still bust you for speeding. We will search your car no matter who you are. And we will protect you and your family and keep you safe inside the fence. On convoys, on the flight line, we will stand our post and do our duties because you are our brothers and sisters. We're responsible for you, every single one of you. We watch like hunters. We listen like parents. Our best days are the ones people make jokes about. Days where nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. And on those quiet days when nothing happens, you're welcome. Aim high, Airman.
I wanted to do something really important.
I think I was looking to be part of something that was bigger than just myself.
We're kind of a cross between light infantry and military police. And they call us the jack of all trades because, you know, we pretty much do everything.
We don't have just one job to do. You're at a different spot every day.
A lot of it is watching a gate, guarding a flight line. You're there for a reason.
At any moment, something could happen, and you're there. You are the gateway to the Air Force, and it's your responsibility to end that threat or handle whatever situation may come your way.
We have very valuable assets on the base, including our planes, our weapons, military personnel.
It's not just a straight leg cop. You can go CADM, you can go K9, you can go Raven, which is aircraft security. You can go Dagger, or Deployed Aircraft Ground Response Element, which is special operations security for special operations aircraft. If you go to a nuke base, you have the Tactical Response Force. There's the Emergency Services Teams, or the ESTs, which are basically a security forces SWAT team. There's so many different opportunities that you can find in security forces.
Working in investigations can consist of a day when you're interviewing a subject, interviewing a victim.
Reacting to an incident, arriving on scene somewhere, and keeping a cool head and being able to talk to people will do more for this job than any other skill they can teach you.
Military working dogs do both explosive and narcotics interdiction. Their key sense of smell is what sets them apart from everything. On a good day, the dogs can smell from 1,000 yards out.
Combat Arms Training and Maintenance, or CADM, basically are the ones who teach weapons to not only security force members, but to the whole base populace. No matter where the Air Force sends you, it's up to you to be motivated and find the opportunities that may be at your base. We're cops, you know, we work the gate, we do law enforcement duties, and then when we deploy, we can do anything from working just that base security, that perimeter defense, to branching outside the wire and pulling the Army's missions.
But when you're deployed, you get to see it firsthand. You get to see the real reason why you're joined, why you're important, and what you're protecting.
You need to find the why. Why are you going to do this? What are you fighting for?
If this is something that you really want to do, it will be worth it. It's really up to the individual to take advantage of those opportunities.
When I first came into the career field, I didn't speak up for myself. I was a little bit shy, a little bit of a pushover, and now I'm 100% confident. I found a voice in security forces.
So Security Forces Squadron is basically like law enforcement. The people you see at the gate, patrolling the base, pulling people over on base, that's security forces. They're law enforcement, they're actually protecting the base. They also do missile security. They work with K9 working dogs, so that's like kind of like another shred as well into the security forces type of stuff. Also, the BG does the same. We actually have our own K9 kind of in the mix. Security forces does as well.
The job opportunities that come with being security forces is what encourage a lot of people to re-enlist.
I re-enlisted in security forces because I realized that there are so many different types of jobs that you can do within the career field that will be a change of scenery, change of pace.
This would definitely be a good career field for somebody who desires to deploy and travel. There's plenty of opportunities.
There's specialty training deployments. Every single Air Force base needs security forces. And generally, if you're at a stateside base, you'll be there for about 4 years, unless you put in for a short tour, which would be a year stationed somewhere overseas.
The K-9 guys, they do a lot of travel with the Secret Service. If you're Combat Arms and you get attached to a pararescue squadron or something like that, anytime they go, you're going with them.
I did assume that I would just be a police officer, and it's so much more. It's about involving the community, about helping people and getting to know a lot of different individuals. You come in contact with so many different people in a day.
There's a lot of community involvement with security forces. You're the first person anyone sees when they come onto the installation. You're the ambassador of the Air Force.
I'm not really much of a gun kind of person, weapon kind of person, except for I've gone hunting a few times. Kind of girly girl, so I was like, oh, I don't know. Went to tech school and I loved it. It was fun, it was rough, physically demanding, but it's stuff that kept me fit, you know. Didn't gain the college 15 because I was working out a lot, so it's a lot of responsibility, but that's one of the main reasons I joined. That's why I didn't go to college right out of high school. I wanted new responsibility. I'd been babied my whole life. I'm the youngest of 3, so I was ready to grow up. In security, we're responsible for the whole base. We are in charge of the flight line, always. So with the F-35s coming, it's gonna be a big change. It's gonna be a big responsibility. We also are responsible for like building checks and any kind of incident that goes on base. Wreck, alarm activations, any kind of damage to someone's personal vehicle we have to respond to. We're in charge of keeping everyone safe out here. If you don't feel safe, I feel like if the pilots don't feel safe, they're not gonna wanna fly. They feel secure out here, they know that we're doing a good job, they know that we'll respond to anything that happens. We are the first responders. If anything pops off, we go to the fight. Obviously, everyone's important. Maintenance takes care of the jets. Jets can't fly, maintenance doesn't fix them. I feel like we're just as important. We keep everyone secure. We have to do flight line sweeps. We have to wake up, open the flight line before everybody else gets out here. We close the flight line, do a flight line sweep every hour to make sure nothing suspicious is going on, nothing looks out of the ordinary. That's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. I think that goes a lot into flying. And it's great. I think seeing the pilots fly every day is kind of like my reward. To know like, we help do that. We're not just cops, we do help the whole mission.
The mission at RAF Mildenhall is we are an air refueling wing. While these aircraft are not in the air refueling, they are being protected by us. If the aircraft were not protected, they would be vulnerable to any outside threats or insider threats. As security forces, a lot of the time people don't think about how much goes into the job. For example, throughout the entire night, we are constantly doing facility checks, ensuring that buildings are all secure. We conduct random anti-terrorism measures. As security forces, you see all the moving parts of the entire base day in and day out. We see the base open up in the morning, and we see it shut down at night. So it is really nice to see how the base operates and be a part of protecting all the personnel and resources on base. The reason why I wanted to be security forces is I wanted a career field that was very diverse. I wanted to be doing something different every day. I wanted to be a first responder. I want to be the one that people call.
BMT was like really different. So first, get off the bus, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you at. You just know that you're about to get yelled at because you're in BMT now. I'm glad that I packed a light luggage because they will have you carry it. Even if you bring a big suitcase that's like this tall, they got wheels, you're carrying it 100%. So, and I'm also glad that I went to Disneyland instead of Alcatraz. Nothing on Alcatraz, but Disneyland was where it's at. You got about like 30 shower heads compared to like 10. So I really actually learned a lot of stuff. You get good relationships with a lot of people. Some people you might not click with, some people you will, but I have seen some amazing people. And it's crazy because I haven't even been in that long, and I just feel like they're like family to me, because we was put in that situation where it's either family or kind of go home. So it was like a love-hate relationship, but I really loved it. You learn a lot of stuff that you learn in BMT, you also learn in tech school as well, especially security forces tech school. So basically paying attention and knowing what you're actually doing is really good.
I believe a common misconception about security forces is that they're just going to be going and learning about law enforcement. Like, yeah, you're going to go learn how to handcuff and search someone, or how to do a traffic stop, or how to work a main gate. That's not the case at all. You're going to spend some time out in the field doing some field training. You're going to get a lot of weapons training.
They assume that they're going to be doing a lot of physical work when a lot of it is academic. There is a lot you need to learn before you can actually get out there and do the job.
Some trainees have a difficult time with the academic standpoint in tech school. If you're studying and you're listening in class and you're taking notes and you're doing everything that your instructors are telling you to do, you won't have a problem with that.
Everyone going through tech school with you is there to help you, and as long as you work together and apply yourself and want to be there, you'll do just fine. Combatives is fun. You actually get to go hands-on. You learn different weapon retention techniques, how to detain a suspect, as well as if you can't handle the fight, how to control it until you can get back up there. So it is extremely fun and competitive.
Going out to Camp Bullis for 3 weeks during the course is used as a tool to work on field training. You stay overnight out there, you wear your duty gear every day, you're firing weapons.
You learn how to clear buildings, deal with active shooter scenarios.
It's exciting, it's different, you're seeing a whole different side of the security forces career field.
So I'd say one of the most challenging things in technical training is the use of force. It's a tough situation for some people.
There's use of force, that's any type of force. So we carry lethal and then less than lethal. The use of deadly force, that's where people get really hung up.
Security Forces spends a lot of time doing deadly force training, and you're constantly training that all the time. So that's not a worry.
Manage your time wisely, stay focused on your goal, take as much as you can out of every single day and every chance that you get with your instructors, because they're some of the top defenders, so they have a lot to offer.
you've always got to be willing to keep learning, to keep improving yourself. Every situation's different, so you want to prepare for as many situations as you can. So if you do have to respond to a situation that maybe you're the only one that's had to deal with it before, you're going to be the one people are looking to for the answers.
Basically, tech school is what you make of it, and I absolutely love tech school. It gave me more like a college feel for everything, because I didn't go to college. I came right out of high school. So they basically taught us what security forces actually is, like in a whole. What you do, how you work at the gate, how you patrol the base, vehicle security, learned what to do and what not to do at the gate. Like if somebody's playing loud music and you can't hear them over the loud music, you'll tell them to turn it down. Or if they refuse to give you the right car, you can deny them from coming on the base. Walking a lot. I mean, I walked a lot in BMT, but hey, we walked a lot in security forces. If I had my phone on me, I'd probably have like 50,000 steps a day. Like I was walking. Bullets is usually 3 weeks, but ours was like 2 weeks or a week and a half, something in that range. So it actually kind of reminded me of like the BDG, because most of the times you really don't do that in security forces as a whole, but in the BDG you kind of do like mostly all of that. So carrying the M4s all the time, 24/7, clearing houses. So I think, I don't remember what it's called, but I think it was like glass windows or something like that, or something with windows or glass. And you'll enter a room and you'll do a corner, so you'll run your wall, check your sectors. It was under like a pavilion and bullets. You're always carrying your M4, you're cleaning it almost every day. They actually did teach us clearing houses as well with Sims, but we couldn't shoot each other because we didn't have on the mask. So we was just shooting at dummies going into a house. They actually taught us like how to like work together. Tech school was like really frustrating because a lot of people didn't know what was going on or what we was doing, where we at, what time is it. So it was really like aggravating in some point of time. Yes, people can come from straight out of tech school to the BDG. I'm the same way. Came straight out of tech school to the BDG. It might change, might not, but as far as I know, it's still the same. Tech school, Moody Air Force Base. So right now I'm at the 823 Security Forces Squadron. Basically what we do is provide high-risk force protection. We provide security for flight lines, protect assets. That's one of the biggest things that we do. We protect assets. We are like worldwide deployable. So sometimes we be on a 6 months on, 6 months off circuit, where at any moment notice we can be deployed somewhere, all over the world. I haven't been deployed yet. I'm waiting to get deployed. I hope I get deployed soon. But yeah, we actually do deploy a lot. So it'd be like on a 6 months on, 6 months off circuit. And there are, how many BDSs is there? 2, 3, 4. There are 4 BDSs. 3 BDSs. We clear houses. Our daily training, we clear houses, basically going in and clearing the buildings, making sure everything is clear, provide security for the outside the buildings, security for villages, because most of the times when we do deploy, we go into villages, so keeping an eye out on what's going on in your surroundings and stuff like that. We also work in the wood lines, so like if you like drive past a forest, hey look, we probably be in a forest like that. So we be all in the forest, looking at the environment, Seeing different things to do, things not to touch. Sometimes it's poison ivy, things to run from, like boars, alligators. Most likely not snakes, because BDG, they just probably kill it. But snakes. Just basically like getting out there, actually seeing the environment, what we're doing. So that's to me BDG in a nutshell.
I'm Sergeant Gussman, and this is Military Working Dog Benny.
I'm Staff Sergeant Starcher. Today we're at the Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson Military Working Dog Kennels, where the military working dogs stay. We've got Dutch Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, German Shepherds.
Generally, when the dogs pass the military working dog training course at Lackland, they get certified VNWDs and get sent out to the field. We're looking at usually 3 years old. When you first pick these dogs up, you're doing 2 weeks of rapport to get to build a baseline foundation, a baseline relationship with the dog, and then you start running into your training. Every time we pull these dogs, it's training. It's all training. Benny, like the other dog, is a dual-purpose explosive detection dog. Dual-purpose meaning that he's also trained for patrol and or bite work. So he's trained to find and scout for suspects in any area or structure. He's also trained on all the odors of explosives. This is our training yard. And our obedience course, as you see here, basic obedience is the foundation for everything we do as a dog team. The agility course or obedience course is physical conditioning for these dogs as well as obedience training for them. And it has a positive transfer of learning into other tasks. So when we get into real world obstacles, jersey barriers, cars, lifted trucks, or anything that these dogs need to get into, this obstacle course will help them. Drop, heap, ups, heap. Good job. Good.
Decoying is the most underrated part of your job as a military working dog handler and can make or break the dog.
Good. Stay.
You have the bite pants, and then you have a bite top, and you have these neoprene sleeves which will go over my arms. That just softens the blow just a tiny bit, but you will feel the pressure in the suit from these dogs. Like having your arm or your leg caught in a vice that wants to eat you. Generally, the goal of these sessions is to set these dogs up for success and make them feel confident as a decoy. So you have to be animated. They get a hold of your legs, you're going to encourage that. Whatever they're going to get a hold of, you want to encourage that behavior. And the goal is to get a nice full mouth bite, and we want them to stay in place on that bite. And we want them to stay determined and stay in the fight.
Good boy. Hold him. Good boy.
So I can have a bad day at home or, have a sad day. As soon as I walk to the kennel and I see my dog, it's just everything goes out the window because I know that I'm here for him, he's here for me, and just to love up on him. So I'm getting ready to head out for patrol to protect J-Bear. And one last thing, I am J-Bear.
My advice is don't overpack. Don't underpack, but don't overpack. Because you're going to be carrying all the stuff that you're going to be packing. Try to be in shape so PT wouldn't be as hard for you because it's the Air Force PT test. It should be fairly easy for somebody who is in shape. So make sure you're running, you're doing your push-ups, sit-ups. Try to make sure you're really prepared before coming in. And also, even if you're not and you feel like that you're struggling on something, the MTIs will help you out 100%. So that and study habits. Make sure on the EOC, hey look, studying is important, 100%. Study, 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 but don't study too hard because then you're gonna hurt your brain. But knowing the information and paying attention in the classes, because that will be one of the hardest things to do, and you will see it firsthand. Falling asleep is really easy, and you won't even know that you're sleeping. So that's some of my advice.